Okay, so today's session is basically an introductory session, and I'm going to give you an idea about what are the contents going to be discussed in this course, or what I used to discuss in last year. Now, you know the course title is EEE 4603, and the course code is 4603. Title is Measurement and Instrumentation. It is a 3-credit-hour course, and you know the marks distribution, how the marks distribution is done normally for a 3-credit-hour course. But however, the normal exam pattern that we follow in our physical classes, maybe there will be a lot of changes to that, and some policy or guideline will be provided by the department, which will be followed by us. Now, if I tell you about the textbooks, so I normally follow these 3 textbooks. I mean, the contents which are going to be covered, they will be from these 3 textbooks, and I'll try to provide you the portions of PDFs of the portions of these 3 books that I'm going to use as a reference. So if you can, you can collect the hard copy of these books. Otherwise, I think those PDFs will be helpful for you. And the basic understanding of your electrical circuit 1, then the 2 electronics courses that you did, and the digital electronics course might be helpful for you, and also the machine course, that the energy conversion 1 that you did previously. Some of those concepts can be helpful in understanding the contents of this course. Now, teaching method, actually this is not, this semester is not going on in with physical presence. So as it is totally online, so the classes will also be delivered in live sessions actually, but mostly I'll try to deliver the lectures in live sessions. But for in some cases, or if it is necessary, I will give you pre-recorded videos. Maybe if it is difficult for me to conduct any of the online sessions, I might give you a pre-recorded video for that. So like I was saying, for the assessment of the course, the regular pattern that we follow while the physical classes are going on, we cannot follow that. You are accustomed to this one. Now there will be a lot of changes here. And the course content. Okay, let me discuss the course content from another document. Okay, so basically I have been taking this course for last 2 years. So in last 2 years, mostly these were the topics that I tried to cover in this course. So normally at the initial portion, or at the beginning of the course, you'll get some introduction of measurement systems. I mean, different methods, or the significance or application of measurement systems. And later on, we're going to move on to the different types of error that commonly happen in while doing any measurement. What are the different types of error, how they are categorized. So actually, you are mostly introduced with measurement systems, or what are the different types of error. But here, maybe you'll learn some formal names. Okay, that is the thing in these 2 portions. Now, later on, we'll move on to the measurement of different I mean, resistance, inductance, and capacitance, how they can be done for unknown resistance, inductance, or capacitance, how we can do the calculation. So for the resistance portion, determining unknown resistance, we can use DC bridge circuits, and you are also quite familiar with bridge circuits. You have some concept of of DC bridge circuits like Wheatstone bridge, Kelvin bridge, and Carey-Foster bridge. So we'll try to elaborate the discussion on these three bridge circuits, and apart from that, for a high resistance measurement, some other techniques are used. So following one of your textbooks, I will try to discuss something on how the high resistance or insulation resistance can be measured. Later on, for inductance and capacitance measurement, AC bridge circuits are used. So 3 or 4 types of AC bridge circuits will be discussed for the measurement of inductance and capacitance. And then moving on to transducers. So obviously by measurement, what we try to do is to convert a physical signal into a form that will be easier for us to deal with. So transducer is mainly a component which converts a signal from one form to another. So what we can do, if we want to measure some physical quantity, we can convert it to suppose electrical form. So then we can use electrical circuitry to represent or deal with that physical quantity. So different types of transducers are there: so resistive, inductive, capacitive, then optoelectronic. Also mechanical transducers are there, because mostly I mean, we have to encounter with electromechanical devices. So there has to be interconnection between mechanical transducers and electrical transducers. So for different types of transducers or sensors, I will try to give you some brief introduction. Now moving on, normally in your circuit lab or electrical machine lab or power systems lab, you use different types of analog meters like voltmeter, ammeter, or wattmeter, and this sort of analog meters you normally use. So what is the conventional or preliminary working principle of those analog meters? I'll try to give you a brief introduction to that. So normally permanent magnet moving coil mechanism is used to construct those analog meters. So some discussion will be on the PMMC meter movement, and based on that, how we can construct DC analog meters or AC analog meters, that is going to be discussed. And later on, you can say that a modification of the permanent magnet moving coil mechanism is the electrodynamic meter movement mechanism. So after completing that discussion, we'll move on to the electrodynamic meter movement. And lastly, our discussion on analog meters, we will conclude it with some discussion on electronic analog meters. And also, apart from that, basic construction and working principle of wattmeter and energy meter will be introduced to you. So with the basic understanding, I think it will be helpful for you to understand the modified designs as well. After that, normally it is often necessary that you need to convert an analog signal to digital or digital signal to analog based on your requirement, because in our physical environment, most of the signals, all the signals are actually analog. So for some reason, you need to convert it to digital form. Then after you do some computation or something in digital form, then again you have to convert it to analog. So some configurations of analog to digital converter and then digital to analog converter will be discussed in this portion of data converters. And moving on, in this portion, recorders and data loggers, I will try to discuss some working principle of graphical data loggers or data recorders, following one of the chapters in one of the reference books or textbooks that I have given in the course outline. Now, another topic that will be introduced is the programmable logic controllers or PLCs. So the internal architecture of PLC, then what are the different components associated with the PLC board, and how you can program the PLC using ladder logic programming. That will be introduced with respect to some examples, so that you can get a basic idea about the working principle of PLC. So many of you might have some idea about it, but in general, so that everyone can have a fundamental idea, I'll try to discuss something on PLCs. So mainly these were the topics which were discussed in the last 2 years when I conducted this course, and I'll try to do the same this year as well. And that was from my side as an introduction to the course contents. And if you have any question now, you can ask from your side.
Sir, if you fail to cover any topic that is given in the course content, can you please give us the resources so that we can study?
Actually, it's not clear what you are saying. There is some noise. Can you repeat it?
He's saying that, sir, can you give us all the resources beforehand?
Well, I intended to upload it after this session, so inshallah I will upload some of the resources after I end this session, and later on, time to time, I will also upload the different lectures. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I was saying that if you fail to cover any topic due to time limitation, can you give us the resources so that we can study those later?
So I didn't hear properly, but I am repeating your question. Maybe you are saying that if I cannot cover all the topics mentioned over here, if I can give you the resources so that you can study later on.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
that was your question.
Yes, sir. That was the question.
Well, in that case, if I cannot cover all the things, I'll give you the resources which I used to use last year. Okay. Hopefully, I'll try to cover these things which are mentioned in this file, which is given in which you're seeing now in the screen share. But still, if it is not possible to cover all of them, I'll try to provide you the necessary documents. Anything else?
No, sir.
If there is nothing more to discuss or ask from your side, then we can finish our session for today. And this week I will not take any class. From next week I will start start the formal discussion of the topic.
Okay, sir. Okay.
The topics. And but in the meantime, those who haven't still joined in the Google Classroom, tell them to join in Google Classroom. And with section B, some students from BSCT program will be also joining, and maybe some of them have already joined. So I will ask the CR. Is he here now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, you try to maintain a connection with the CR of the BSCT program, so that if some information gap is there, so that you can convey it to them.
Okay, sir.
Sir, can we record our classes?
I am recording the classes, so
Yes, sir.
I'll provide the recording after each session.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, it is better if you could give us the permission to record, because if we can record, then we can upload it quickly to our Google Drive folders.
I'll do that. I'll upload it after each session ends. Okay. And
Okay,
if,
sir. No
if there is any problem, then I'll give the responsibility to some of you.
problem. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can we end, sir, now?
Yeah. So if there is no other query, I'm finishing for today's session, and inshallah next week we'll meet again. Okay. So
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
see you next week. Walaikum assalam.